All right, y'all. What's up? What's going on? Let me go ahead and cut the music so we can talk a little bit. What's up? Shout out to my man BJ. I was just over there for a little bit. I was going to come on earlier, but I got caught up sitting back, eating a little something, and then just listening to him and Taylor, talk that MMA stuff as well. So I just was sitting back listening to them. But I said, let me get on here before it get too late, y'all. What's up? Just kind of jumping on here to talk a little bit about 315 and just some women fights coming up. We in the building. Trying to get BJ to come over here real quick because I got some smoke with him about this Natalia Silva situation. What's up, Stamina? Marcus, yo. Axel in the building. Hey man, like I got this little bit of smoke I got with BJ about Natalia Silva talking about she don't need to be leapfrogging over Macy Barber. I'm like, bro, what? Come on now. Hey, that's look, if he come over here, if he's still feeling froggish later, hey, I put a link there for him. But yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know Natalia Silva is in the best position right now, and she deserves it. But yeah, man. Three UFC 315. They just hit me in the head with this one, man. I was like, we ain't got nothing going on for the top 15 so far. Then all of a sudden, fights just started getting announced. And I'm like, yo, whoa, oh, you know, first Grasso and Silva. When I saw that, I was like, oh, okay, come on now. If we get Grasso versus Silva, okay, now we already know that Grasso's healed up, or she's on the way to being healed up. And then we know that Barbara's not getting the Grasso fight that she wanted, right? So that already told me, okay, if we get in this fight, and this fight is going to be in Canada, I already know the championship fight has got to be in Canada. So the other day, man, I was just sitting on the I was just sitting, at my desk, on what was I on? Was I on Facebook? Yeah, I think I was on Facebook. Yeah, because I don't really use Instagram too much, and I was on Facebook, and I saw some posts come up. I saw the feed for the UFC, and I saw Patty versus Chandler. I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And what else did I see? Who else is there? Patty versus Chandler. And then there was another announcement. And as I was scrolling, I was like, all right, are they going to schedule? And then I look to the left and I see Bilal and Mandalane. And then I see Shevchenko and Fiorot. I'm like, yeah, there it is. It was just 2 minutes it'd been up. It just been up for like 2 minutes. So I was already on it. Y'all saw I was on it the other day. But I was like, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Mark said the UFC going to keep feeding us chicken nuggets. Yeah, I thought so too, man. I thought they were just going to keep doing this unranked business because, I mean, what's coming up next weekend? I mean, we don't have any fights this weekend. No fights this weekend. WMMA fights. No WMMA fights. What's the other fights we got next weekend? Oh yeah. Montana, Luana Carolina, and JJ Aldridge and Andrea Lee, right? And those JJ not a bad fighter or anything like that, but we want some top 15 fights. Oh yeah. Volkanovski and Lopez. That's what it was. I saw it to the side. I was like, oh snap. Okay, Volkanovski's coming back. Now I was like, wait a minute, vacant featherweight belt? I was like, what's going on here? And they said, okay, Superior is moving up. But y'all saw what caught my eye, man. Shevchenko and Fiorot. That's what's up. But let me go ahead and pull up what they have for the UFC 315 card. Muhammad. Honestly, man, Shevchenko Fiorot should be the main event. I'm just saying, because everybody already talking trash about Muhammad and Madalena like that. They all calling the fight boring. Y'all should have just went on to put the bullet on her first main event, and with Manon being French and this being in Canada, what do you got to lose, right? I don't think people would be mad, right? If the bullet headlining the card over Bilal, right? Would y'all be mad? I mean, I know y'all we're gonna be a little biased, right? Because we are WMMA fans, right? But would the casual fan be pissed off if Valentina headlining instead of Bilal? That's the question. I don't think so. That's my answer to the question, though. I don't think so. If Valentina headlining this card, UFC 315, I don't think they would be mad. It could put Bilal as the co-main event. I don't think I wouldn't be mad at that. Don't remind me what's coming on next. It'll be fun, man. I'm telling you, man. The fight's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. We'll make something of it. I mean, I'm sure they'll turn out to be all right, Marcus. I'm sure. I guess. Alex said that's great. The UFC decides to follow the sport. Yeah, finally. Stammer said, "B just said, what Macy don't get to lay claim to anything from her Instagram page. If you ain't scrapping, you're napping, right? And if you napping, you ain't scrapping. You ain't getting. Hey, if you ain't napping, you ain't. If you napping, you ain't scrapping. And look, I know she got some things going on, but hey, come on, you can't jump ahead like that." Yeah, man, it's up. It's going down. UFC 315. Let's see how many fights we already got scheduled. May 10th. Starts at 6 p.m. Already got 8 fights on the card. I posted this one up here too. I know some of y'all didn't even really pay attention, probably don't really care, but you got 3 fights up here, 3 WMMA fights. You got Haley Cowan versus Nora Cornolle. You had to get Nora Cornolle on this card, right? Because she's French. So they had to bring her back. Let's see, her last scrap was against Cavalcanti in September. So bringing her back after that close loss against Haley Cowan, that's not a bad idea. Haley, man, she's been signed for a minute, but she hasn't been able to really perform because of some illnesses, which I understand. I believe she did fight once, right? After, yeah, she did fight one time. Okay, she fought Jamie Lynn Horth back in going on 2 years ago, and then she had a couple more cancellations. So yeah, she's been kind of in and out of it. She was supposed to fight Eileen Perez, I see. Okay, so with her making her comeback, or her return, this is a good fight for Haley Cowan. Except Cornolle, she's about that business. There you go, BJ. BJ, man, we got to talk, man. I know you all burnt out, but we got to talk about Natalia Silva. I know you were over there talking about she don't deserve to get that leapfrog, but this is kind of like a little smoke call out. I just had to get on. You look at him talking what I say, man. Talking innocent. This was actually for Easy E too, man. Easy E needed to get on here because I guess he been busy. Easy been busy, man, because I'm trying to give him this crow. I still got a couple of wings left. I'm trying to feed Easy some of these crow, all I got is a wing left right now. I mean, I can give him the beak if you want that beak, man. I mean, hey, but you still got to eat some of this crow, Easy, whenever you got some time, bro. Gary Baldwin said Val and Fiorot have a reputation of being boring among casuals. I think Val is boring, but not more boring than Muhammad. Yeah, I don't think she's boring. Yeah, amongst the casuals, yeah, of course they think she's boring, but yeah, I don't think she's boring at all. Like, I think, technique is not boring to me. Technique is not boring at all to me. I don't see her as being boring. Let me see. BJ said Macy whooped more. Did she though? Did she really whoop more butt like on her win streak? Let me see her. We might have to pull up her win streak, man. Hold on. Did she really whoop more butt though, man? And again, if there is an illness, it's not really her fault, right? So I'm not saying anything about that. But the thing is, if you are inactive for almost a year while Natalia's hungry and putting in work, Natalia Silva's doing her thing, man. Like they both on a 6-fight win streak, but whose win streak is more impressive? Okay. Barbara's got some names, but two of them names, some people think that they went the other way. Some people try to argue that they went the other way. And okay, I know Macy Barber, she put a whooping on Montana. BJ tried to convince me to pick Montana, and I did. And then Barber came in there and oh man, Barber fed her a healthy diet of elbows for 3 rounds. Barber was whooping her butt, man. I will give her that. She was. That was the beginning of her. No, that close win over Miranda Maverick, which I don't really count that as a victory, but on paper it is a W. All right. And then she beats Montana and Jessica I. Barely beats Andrea Lee, but Natalia Silva, that's their common opponent. That's their common opponent, BJ, Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee got pretty much neutralized by Natalia Silva. I thought she did better against Macy Barber. I'm gonna watch them fights again. I'm gonna watch them fights. I'm gonna pull them fights up one day. We're gonna do a round by round, and we're gonna look at it. BJ said finish Aldridge and Jillian out the gate. Yeah, she did for sure. She whooped them. I'm talking about this new win streak though. After losing to her grandma and losing to Grasso, this new win streak though. See, Natalia Silva, she came out the gate, just leaving girls in the dust, right, to earn her way. And now, she's ready. So, and there's no question mark. There's no question mark on her return. She's ready to go. So yeah, we're just talking about Grasso Silva right now. Because I understand, look, BJ, she's in that threat list for me. But if I had to pick right now who deserves the Grasso fight, it would be Natalia Silva. Because I definitely can't argue. Okay, yeah, she finished Aldridge and she finished her. But since then, the Ebos fight was good. The Ebos fight was a good finish. But I still think, beating the former champ like Jessica Andrade holds more weight than beating Ebos. Because, again, that is a former champ. And then, convincingly beating Viviane Araújo and Andrea Lee. Those are 3 good names. Those are 3 good names that she beat. So, yeah, I like that. But let's see. How does this fight match up, though, between Grasso and Silva? And, yeah, she did beat Seminar. She did beat her. She did beat Seminar. Yeah. That's a good win. That is a good win. So, when it comes down to it, I put the weight a little bit more on Silva's side because activity. And when you look at resumes, yeah, they both beat the same number of fighters, but who seems to be more ready right now? Is the illness or whatever situation holding Barber back? That might put the UFC in a situation. It might put the UFC on the spot where they can't really depend on her right now. So my thing is, let's go with the girl that's ready. Natalia Silva said, "Hey, I'm about my business. I'm ready to go. Let's fight." She was ready to get a title fight right now if she could. She was calling for the title fight now, which she probably could have been game for it. But in my opinion, Grasso's a great name for her to fight. That'll be her second former champion. And this is going to test a lot in Natalia Silva. Her cardio. I wish this was a 5-round fight though, man. I really do. Because let me pull up the card here. UFC 315. It is on the main card. It's the 3rd fight up from the co-main event. Yeah. So that's all right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ravioli. Macy needs that breakout performance. The Ebos fight was good now. The Ebos fight was good. Don't get me wrong. But like she needed something breakout. Like when she fought Chikagan, that needed to be the fight where she like destroyed her. You know what I mean? Like she needed to beat her more convincingly than anybody. Like she had to do something almost like Valentina did, where she maybe stopped Chikagan with her, with her striking to make people say, okay, this is the last fight she left off on. That looked pretty good. That's what got Andrade to fight, whenever she put that body shot on old Chuk, So I think if Barbara did something like that, maybe we could make that argument. But I just kind of think that, Barbara, with a little bit of inactivity and some of the fighters that she fought, you could say they beat her, just doesn't look as it don't look as solid as how Natalia Silva's moving though. Let me see Natalia Silva, but I mean, who knows though, man? Like Barbara could do something big whenever she get up here. Who knows? I'm just saying right now though. Let me see Natalia Silva though. She is 5. How do they match up? Let me see. She's 5'4", and Grasso is 5'5". Her reach is about a 66. And Silva's got about a 65-inch reach. So they're not that far off in height and reach. I mean, Silva's got like what, an inch? She's an inch behind in both. But I don't think that's really going to be an issue where she can't touch Grasso. Because again, you got to think of styles. I think Grasso will definitely give Silva chances to touch her or, hit her with some significant strikes. Because, Silva likes to use kicks more than Grasso. And Grasso, she likes to come forward more. She's not really a back foot fighter. She will fight it more in the mid-range in the center of the cage. Or, she will kind of march forward a little bit more heavy on the front leg. So I think Grasso, finding Grasso won't really be a problem. Finding Grasso is not really going to be a problem for Natalia Silva. She'll be there, especially again, like throwing kicks. If Silva's not really throwing a lot of strikes up top yet, she'll be finding her range, chopping away the lead leg, throwing a couple of combinations upstairs when she can. But, Grasso, I do like how she always, she always keeps a good high guard, but she's been open for body kicks, so I see Silva having some success with a lot of her kicks in this fight, definitely see her having a lot of success with some kicks at times, maybe even, really putting something on that front leg of Grasso, especially if they know about the broken leg in the situation like that. Yeah, definitely. Should be a good fight though. Like I said, man, like I know some people think that Silva going to blast through Grasso. Some people think Grasso, her experience is going to carry her through this fight, but I don't know, man. Like, I don't really see. I think somebody posted somewhere that Grasso was going to submit Silva. I just don't see that, man. Like, who sees that? Does anybody see Grasso submitting Silva? Like, I'd have to see Silva really making a big mistake. Like Natalia Silva would have to make a really big mistake for Grasso to get her hands on her. Like, see, the thing about Valentina was they really worked on that style. That's what it was. Like, they worked on that particular style for that particular fight 2 years ago. And Valentina was, let's be real, like Valentina wasn't using that type of speed like Silva. Silva's herky jerky. Her movement's more chaotic. Valentina's more like quick twitch, where she'll throw quick combinations, but she's always standing in front of you. She and on top of that, like you can time, like when she would throw a spin kick after a while, spin kick, back fist, things like that. And Grasso, that's what they really used was timing. But Silva's strong. Silva is really strong. So I really don't see her having like this big opening that Grasso is going to become some type of big submission threat. Like how many? Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know if I hit that might be loud. Hold on. Grasso doesn't have a lot of finishes like that, right? Tell you that finish really came against Valentina because they studied her. They studied her and studied and studied because that's the direction they were going. All her other opponents, JoJo, she finished. JoJo not really sharp on ground game like that. Not really submission defense wise there. So to me, that was just the opening there, but I don't really see Grasso getting her hands on a mover like Silva. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen Grasso in here against somebody that moves like this. I don't think she ever fought anybody that moved, right? Because let me see. Macy Barber put pressure on her. Jin Yoon Kim put pressure on her. So that always kind of gave Grasso the edge because she throws better combinations and her hands were faster. JoJo, Muay Thai, JoJo was landing a few shots before. Yeah, she got submitted on Grasso. So yeah, Grasso is going to be a little bit more open to be hit upstairs. So Grasso's going to be looking to counter, I think. But it's going to be hard. The thing about Silva is, though, she can't be dropping her hands. You can't be dropping your hands in there. Yeah, and I was looking at that fight too, looking at some of the Arujo fight, or said Viviane wasn't lighting Grasso up. She won every round. She wasn't lighting her up. I thought Viviane Arujo was landing some pretty good shots on Grasso. I thought she did because she did buzz. She buzzed Grasso. I always got to bring up the forehead, man. Like the last stream, remember I was talking about the forehead. I don't think he was in here, but remember I was talking about the forehead aura. She was getting hit with some pretty good shots on the forehead. Let me pull up that picture. Hold on. Grasso Arujo. Yeah. Arujo was hitting with some big punches in that fight. She rocked her in like round 3 or 4. Grasso won the fight for sure. Yeah. I give her the fight. Like she probably won I think I gave it to Grasso 4-1, but Grasso was still getting hit. And that's my point. Like she was still getting hit in the fight. And if you got somebody like Natalia Silva who can hit you and get out of danger in time, that's what makes the fight a little bit more different, competitive, interesting. Hold on. Aru had that look like she felt she won the fight. Hold on. Just a second. Let's see. Hold on here. Arujo landed punches on Silva too. Flat-footed Vivi. Tag Grasso. Yeah. Yeah, Viviane Arujo landed on Grasso because that goes back to what I was saying. Yeah, like her, Grasso's going to meet you in the middle. Grasso's not really going to, daggone it, come on. I got to change the format for the picture. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to show you something here. I mean, it doesn't look too bad here, but still, hold on. Dang, man, we don't have no fights this weekend. Oh, LFA starts at 9. There's a couple of WMMA fights. I might catch on replay here. All right, hold on. Just a second. Yeah, May is looking good, man. I can't wait. Man, if they give me Aaron and Macy in April, I'll be good to go, man. Axel said, I rewatched the Silva Blada fight and I saw that Silva is strong enough in cage wrestling and grappling. However, she should avoid to give her back to Grasso. Yeah, I agree on that. I think, that's why her best bet would be to just stay on her feet, use her movement and use that strength to just kind of push Grasso off. If you're faster, a little bit stronger and quicker, just spend her time on the feet. And if she cage wrestles a little bit, just create space to land these to the body and, repeat that. Because I will say this, I don't think Natalia Silva wins like the mid-range striking. I don't think she wins the mid-range striking as far as like trying to exchange and box with Grasso. I think Grasso will win those, if she decides to stay in there a little bit longer. That's going to be, Grasso all day. But one thing you don't really have to worry about is like even Grasso landing a lot of kicks, for Natalia Silva. Yeah. Yeah, Natalia Silva got heavy hands though. So I'm just saying, like, I just want to remind you, oh yeah, she put a big knot on her forehead. It was bigger too after the post, after the at the post fight. So I was like, wow, has Silva already done a 5-round fight? Unfortunately, no, she hasn't. She hasn't done a 5-round fight. I wish this could be a 5-round fight, but they don't really do three. They really don't do three fights on a card, with that contain or consist of 5 rounds. I don't think so, unless it's going to be like 2 championship fights or 3 championship fights. But if it's another title eliminator that's down the line or down the list, they really don't do 3 fights like that. Like if it was a BMF thing, yeah. Then if they featherweight, heavy, whatever, you got 3 5-round fights. Like I think they did that on the 300 card, I think it was. But as far as like this, nah. Didn't Silva get TKO by Marina Rodriguez at 115? Grasso is a former strawweight. Did she get? I don't think she got. Did she get TKO? I know she lost to her. Yeah, we talked about that over here before, that she lost, but that was like years ago. I mean, she was a different fighter. No, she didn't get TKO. She just lost. Like she's never been stopped. Hold on. Well, she got stopped in her very first fight, which is 9 years ago. But yeah, she lost to Marina like 8 years ago. And she don't even look like the same fighter because I watched that fight, I watched that fight. Then I watched a couple of her fights before she got into the UFC, and she already looked like a different fighter. I think the fight that she won that got her signed to the UFC, I believe she submitted somebody. Hold on, let me see. Yeah. Right before she got into the UFC, she scored a couple of arm bars herself, so she was already like on the improvement track there, so I don't really think I guess you can go back and look at the Marina fight, but I really don't take that as a fight to research now because to me she just looked different. I mean, it's on YouTube if everybody want to watch it. She looked different to me. Like she didn't look the same. Maybe it was the weight, or maybe it was just a different fighting style. But after she took a little break and came back, I think she took like a year off, during the COVID period. She was out for like almost 2-3 years. I mean, she came back revamped. She came back revamped and looking good. Natalia Silva did, so much like Grasso, when they move up to 125, they find their home. And I think her path is just like Grasso's, where 115 maybe wasn't really her thing. But whenever she moved up, she started looking better. Like she could move more. She could carry her strength better. Same as Grasso did. The power carried up a little bit. So I think the same thing is kind of going on with Silva. She's kind of got the similar path. And some might argue like she might be fighting some tougher opponents than Grasso on the way up. She's already fought, some girls she didn't fight like Andrade or Andrea Lee. And I mean, they did. Yes, she fought Macy Barber earlier. So that is a good name for Grasso though. But yeah, I think Natalia Silva, she's doing what she's supposed to do. I think she's doing what she's supposed to do. Just keep improving and use her body type to whatever her strength is. You know what I mean? Find your strength with your body type. Or it says she did beat Silva with striking and grappling. Kareem Silva versus Tracy in the works. Somebody said Kareem versus Rose is already made. I mean, I haven't heard nothing on it. That's what I'm saying. Like, I was up the other night and I saw straight from the UFC, and my man what's his name? Big Marcel, he got his ear to the street for real. He hit me with that real news. So I already know whenever he posted, he got some official news, but I ain't heard about no Kareem Silva versus Rose. I mean, I would watch it now. That's a good fight. But I don't see no schedule on that. I mean, if I could, I would put I have time said Fiorot has nothing for Shevchenko. Hey, I said the same thing about Grasso, and then what happened? I wouldn't do that now. Don't do that now, because might get your feelings hurt. Because hey, I did that with Grasso. A lot of people did that with Grasso. I said, take out Fior's name and put Grasso's name there, and what happened? I said, Grasso has nothing for Shevchenko. And man, everybody was crying. Everybody was crying. So hey, I bet this is gonna be a good fight. That's why it's happening. You know, hey, you gotta look at this thing across the board and say, hey, Shevchenko's age is catching up to her. Fighters are figuring her out. You know, fighters are figuring her out. Okay, and you got to look at just like time. You know, time is not on people's side. You know, time is not on people's side. It's just like, hey, you can have this all day. You can have all the accomplishments. But if your momentum ain't in the right place, hey, you know what it is. Except from BJ. BJ said Shevchenko ain't got nothing for Grasso. I have time said Monona is around the same age as Val. Hey, fighter years, baby. Fighter years now. Y'all know. Look, I was talking to one of my mans, you know, as a fighter. And like he said, you could be 30 years old, but if you had like so many fights, your body is really 50. You know? But if you young, if you a young 30, a 34-year-old who hasn't really fought at a high level yet, still fresh, still a 34-year-old, right? But if you got a fighter that's been in there for so many years, 50 years old body, you know, 50-year-old body, some people say. But if you ain't taking a lot of punishment, no. Like if you ain't taking a lot of punishment, hey, it can still be fresh. But years and years of sparring, all of that, man, all that catches up. But with that being said, it's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be competitive. I give Manon a chance. I do give her a little bit more of a chance than I did Grasso because, you know, I'm looking at what's been done across the board now. And, you know, Manon's had the chance to train. You know, now she's been training since, you know, let's go ahead and say after the Aaron Blanchfield fight. You know, I think that she's putting it together. I think that she didn't really need like a fight in between. You know, as you get older, I think that preparation time in between, sometimes you might say it's a long time, like, okay, 12, 13 months. But as long as you staying active and your body is staying loose, you're good to go. You know, I think you're good to go. Look at BJ with the sunglasses talking about something. He said, everybody was quiet. Hey, I wasn't quiet, but I was wrong. BJ, I wasn't quiet, but I was wrong. I was on here. I was 100% wrong. I was 100% wrong with Grasso. Grasso choked Valentina out. Valentina was winning the fight, but Valentina was turning red, man. As soon as Valentina gave her back up, she was getting choked out. And I was like, oh, Bullet, what you do? Bullet was being stupid in that fight too, man. Like, let's be honest now. Just like I called Pena stupid, making stupid mistakes. Valentina was being stupid in there, throwing all them Street Fighter kicks until Grasso got that back, throwing all that spinning stuff. And Grasso was already hitting with her big punches. That's why I said if Manon comes in this fight, you know, Manon needs to use that right hook. Hey, Valentina's one of the best southpaws, but sometimes even for a southpaw, fighting a southpaw can be tough. You know, fighting a southpaw can be tough, you know, even if you are a southpaw, because you ain't never really faced a southpaw. That's what makes a southpaw one of the toughest fighters in the world. You know, like fighting a southpaw just because you are one doesn't make it easy. I mean, hey, look at Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. Terrence Crawford, man, he switched southpaw and Errol, and he whooped Errol's butt, man. I was like, oh my goodness, you know? So anything can happen. Anything is up for grabs. But let's enjoy this fight, man. Let's enjoy this fight, y'all. Hey, we all got our takes on it. As long as we ain't calling nobody names, because hey, y'all ain't in there. I'm not in there. Because man, whenever Whaley and Suarez fought, y'all was acting like nuts. I was hoping we were gonna have conversation, like, but some of y'all was calling names. Like Manon is fighting, Valentina's fight. It's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be, and that's why I'm here, because it's gonna be a good fight. I'm gonna enjoy it. Same way I enjoyed that fight. Got to pick wrong, but I still shoot. That's why I'm still on here talking, because I bring that fight up all day long because it was so good. I like what Whaley did. And I mean, whoever wins this fight here, I definitely think if Manon wins, it's gonna be big for the division again. I think it's gonna move in a different direction. You're gonna have Manon versus maybe the winner of Grasso, Natalia Silva, or you got her versus Valentina again. So you got that. Or if Valentina wins, I mean, it's a win-win, because Valentina ain't no bad fighter. Like, that's my thing too. Like, if Valentina wins, I'm not going anywhere. You know what I mean? I do pick Manon here because I'm rocking with my triple threat. As a fan pick, yeah. But if Valentina was a win, shoot, we back on track with the other fight then, the super fight, right? Valentina versus Zhang Wei Li. And then we go in with those videos. And we already know I'm going to get it, from both sides here, because I'm going to come with the logic. And then people are going to be hating either way. So when I look at the fight as just a logical fight, people are going to be like, how you going to give this person credit? Every time I gave Suarez credit, people would get mad. If I gave Wei Li credit, people would get mad. So I'm like, be quiet, be quiet. I'm gonna say what I say. So I give Manon full credit here. She won 7 in a row. She's big. She's strong. She's got takedown defense. Got a couple of hiccups that she need to work on before you face Valentina, but she's got a good chance. If she take a page out of what Joanna did, shoot. If she take a page out of what Joanna did, she could give her a tough fight. BJ, Joanna did give Valentina a pretty good fight. I think Joanna maybe won that one round in that Valentina fight, but if you strong and you got good, strong takedown defense, and she was a strawweight coming up, she got taken down. But I think, Manon, if they on their game and they're on their balance, if they're working on their balance, like I've been seeing her, yeah, it should be good. Do I think Valentina takes her down? Yeah, I think she can take her down. I think she could take her down, and I think she probably will take her down. But the thing is, I think she will pop back up. First half of the fight. Now, if she lets Valentina dictate the pace in the fight, and Valentina tags Manon a couple of times and gets her respect from counterpunching, and then she starts surprising her down the line, maybe round 3 or 4, it's going to be hard to get up from them takedowns. It's going to be hard to get up from them takedowns. Now, like, if she stuffs the takedowns in rounds 1, 2, and 3, Valentina might stop, and Valentina might get a little frustrated, might get a little tired, like she did against Grasso. Because you remember Grasso stopped a couple of them takedowns when they got you remember Grasso did stop a few of them takedowns. That's why Valentina got a little tired. And then Valentina tried to look for that big shot to end the fight. And that's how Grasso ended her. But same thing in this fight. Do I see Valentina taking her down? I think she will. I think she probably will take Manon down, but keeping her down is the question. Keeping her down is the question. Like, I ain't going to be somebody that says, okay, oh man, like Manon's this big. Nah, man, Valentina, pound for pound, is taking down Pena, taking down Holly, taking down Amanda. She taking down everybody, right? So she will take you down. And it can happen in this fight. My question is, can she keep her down? Like, because she had trouble I would say Joanna was so squirmy. Joanna moved up the flyweight and looked stronger. So to me, Joanna showed a pretty good example of how to get out of there. against. I'm gonna watch that fight again too. I gotta watch that fight again. Or it's I think Manon should take Val down too. Ooh. Should she take Val down? I don't know, man, because Valentina, after that next fight, that rubber match, Valentina was on her wrestling, boy. Valentina wrestled the crap out of Grasso, man. Yeah, nobody could keep Joanna down, man. Nobody could keep Joanna down, though. Mark said one thing for sure: it's not the time for Manon to get hit in the head with a leg kick, from Valentina. Exactly. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like every fight Manon had, I'm seeing like one or two weaknesses that needs to be corrected, and they need to be corrected now, ASAP. Like the first fight it happened in, I would have called that right away. Like, and yes, I am being a couch coach here. I am being a couch critic or a couch coach here, because if my fighter got hit with a head kick against Jennifer Maia because her hands were down or because she pulled straight back, I would have been like, yo, hey, we need to fix this. We need to fix this right now. And then it happens in the Caitlin Chikagan fight. I'd be like, hey, we got to fix this. This should be fixed by now. All right. As you move up the ladder, then in the Aaron fight, come on now. If Aaron caught you with a head kick in the 5th round, it's time to fix this. This needs to be fixed now. Because Valentina, they're looking at this stuff. You're dealing with one of the smartest fighters in the game, long reigning champion for a reason. So just these little things like this, man. These little things I'm watching every single fight. I'm like, I see what Valentina does wrong too. I see how Valentina reacts to when she gets hit. That's when she's open. Valentina, that's one of her weaknesses. Once you touch her, she gets mad and she'll come after you. I mean, she's wide open. Think about Manon. Yeah, you got to keep your hands up. Keep them hands up. Keep them hands up. Don't pull straight back. Stop the pull back. And at this point, when you see 3 or 4 fighters do that to her, you got to be like, oh, okay, this can't happen. Like, and I think that's why they're really working on their boxing, though. I think that's really, really why they're working on their boxing. And I put it out here, and not to clown a fighter, I'm putting it out there. So if somebody hear it, they need to say, okay, that must be my issue, right? If I'm doing this and somebody's called it out 4 or 5 times, maybe I need to fix that. Right. Yeah, we already know she has a good chin because she took that first one, man, in that Jennifer Maia fight. And I was like, oh, you could hear that kick. I was like, oh, no. So there's got to be some correction there, no doubt. Pena has BJJ problems, got submitted by GDR. Yeah, Aaron did that. Aaron did that in the 5th round. I can see Malone using that overhand right like Nunes did to Cyborg. I don't know. I don't think so, because she's a southpaw, so she really wouldn't throw the overhand right like that. I think she would throw more of a right hook like Grasso whenever Grasso switched to southpaw. But Amanda being an orthodox fighter, her right hand is money. She's in the perfect position, and Cyborg is perfect. Cyborg was perfect for that right hand. Cyborg gave her that chin, man. Cyborg was just like, come on, knock me out. And again, like Amanda, her being an orthodox, they built that right hand. That right hand was loaded with bricks that night. But I think, the way Manon fights, she don't throw overhand right like that. That ain't nothing she need to be going for. I think setting it up like a right hook, that's what she needs to do. Chikagan's kick stumble. I think Maia's probably stumbled her a little bit more. I think Maia's stumbled her a little bit more. Yeah. But hey, I think this is, like I said, this is going to be a good fight. It's long overdue. Definitely long overdue. You know, Valentina hasn't fought since what, September. So when she comes back, that'll be what? Let me see. September last year is what? October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. 8 months. Okay, 8 months. 8 months. And 14. Yeah, 14 for Manon. Dang. Yeah. Manon's fight was in March, end of March. So about 13 months. Yeah. About 13 months for Manon since she's fought, and Val about 8. So that's a normal turnaround time for Valentina, I guess. Let me see. Yeah. Hopefully, you know, let's say if Valentina wins, I hope she will fight one more time this year. Or say Manon wins, I hope she'll fight. But that's the good thing. That's the good thing. This fight and this fight are on the same schedule. So we're going to have a good turnaround time. You know, we got the perfect tournament time. We got the perfect tournament situation going on here. Now, if you threw Aaron and Barbara up here, you could really decide. You could really have a little semifinal bracket going on here. You know, that would even make it more interesting there. If you had Aaron and Barbara on this card too, man, shoot, Aaron versus Barbara, or Aaron versus Macy, Grasso versus Silva. Whoever looks the best on it gets this title shot, or do they fight each other? That's the question. Like, if Aaron and Macy fight and their winner looks really good, and Grasso and Silva winner looks really good, how are they going to decide the next title contender out of that? Do they have to fight now? Would that be like the 8th fight for Silva? Will have to be the next decider. That sort of make it interesting, right? Mark said, I think Grasso's jab will be a threat to Silva. Yeah, her jab. Yeah, her jab could be a problem. Her jab could be a problem. Her jab will be a problem. Well, I won't say will be, but it could be. Yeah. Axel said, I think Manon is working on her boxing to get more power in her hand to hit like Dakota. She has the frame for it, and if it happens, Valentina will be hit as never she has never felt. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed is like I kind of low key saw her, like I brought it up before, you know, studying Tank Davis too. You know, Gervonta Tank Davis. You know, he's a hard hitting southpaw. So that's what I was saying about them before. Is like, you know, if you watching that boxing, like, look at how he sets traps and look how he delivers power, man. Because Tank Davis, he's not only is he a hard hitter, but he's a pretty smart boxer as well, you know. So you can't go wrong studying somebody like him. Let's see what other fights are coming up. Oh, Yana and Misha Tate. Still got Yana and Misha Tate. I mean, I'll talk about that a little bit later. Marcus said he don't want me putting anybody to sleep, right? So, okay, I won't talk about that fight right now. I won't talk about that fight because Marcus said if I talk about Yana and Misha right now, this is what's going to happen. He said this is going to happen right here, so I'll save it. I mean, it could be interesting. It could be interesting. Marcus said the bell won't ring because he's going to be sleeping. Snooze. He said hit the snooze. Do you think Hill is done? You know what? I was talking about the other day. I'm gonna put that little video out about that. I have time. I'm gonna put that video out. Do I think Hill is done? I don't think she's done, man. I don't think Hill is done. He'll be making me mad sometime, but that's good because I like her. I still like Angela Hill. Hill is not done. Hill is the new instructor for the top fit. Well, Hill is I call it the dream crusher. People always be calling her over the hill, but I call her the dream crusher because she be beating all of these young girls. She be putting them on, she be putting them back to school. She be putting them back to school. I think the one up and coming fighter that probably will beat her, like Ricci did, I think Sam Hughes might beat her. Like if they match her and Sam Hughes up, I think Sam Hughes has the athleticism now, how she's been training, and I think she's got the skill to do it, and the wrestling, and the cardio. But see, girls like Ketlin Souza, they just don't have it, man. They just didn't have it. Yeah, she's been getting hit a lot. She's been getting hit a lot, but that's the one thing Hill thrives on is that chin, man. That chin, that chin is strong, man. Yeah, I think Sam Hughes will beat her, man. And Fatima Klein, yep, Fatima Klein is another. I think both of them beat her. Hey, I said the same thing about well, I said she would beat Tabitha Ricci. That little girl put it on her, man. I don't think she regresses. I really don't think she's regressing like that though. Like regressing, let me see. Angela Hill is actually progressing with her ground game. Like look at her clinch game, man. Like look at her clinch game when she was fighting Jenna. Not she trains with Jenna Bishop. She trains now with a black belt. That's why her grappling has gotten better. Look how she was controlling Denise Gomes. Look how she controlled Ketlin Souza. Ketlin Souza last Saturday looked big too, but you see how she was like using her head and her thigh control, how she was holding her thigh. Souza couldn't really do much, and then she was kneeing her in the body. Like she's kind of incorporating her Muay Thai clinch with that grappling now. That's why I said if she'd been grappling like this maybe 5 years ago, and then she progressed to now, she probably would have fought for the belt or possibly had the belt now because yeah, Angela Hill did, she did finally humble herself and start hitting the mat more. Like just something about that old woman strength too, man. That old woman strength like is it's a little too much for these girls. Yeah, BJ, that's why I said she ain't regressing. I think she's evolved, but she's not evolved enough to be a champion. There's a difference. Like she's evolved more than these girls that need to evolve right now. These girls that we keep saying need to be in the top 15 or top 5 and top 10, they ain't making the improvements like she is. And that's what's sad. Like these girls, they are making more of an improvement. I mean, excuse me, Angela Hill's making more of an improvement than these girls right now. She's still holding on enough. She knows how to roll with the punch. She knows how to get away from the power. Like she can take away the power like Denise from fighters like Denise Gomes. She ain't coming straight forward. The thing about Hill is, like I said, that keeps her from getting to the top 5 is, she's inconsistent. Like I don't think her skills are regressing. I think it's just that 40-year-old body. Like 40-year-old mind is smart. She picked up a lot of wisdom, but physically, sometimes your body just ain't gonna be there. Sometimes your body just gonna be off because it's getting older, right? But mentally, she's got a lot more wisdom now, and she knows what to do and what not to do. So I think that's what makes her evolve. But yeah, when it comes to any type of regression, it's just I think it comes down to the 40-year-old body now. Cause yeah, man, like even in that Ricci fight, she just couldn't keep up with Ricci. She just couldn't keep up with Ricci in that fight. She just a little bit like, her speed was out. But yeah, Ricci's the younger fighter. Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I think I give her about 3 more years, Marcus. I give her about maybe 3 more years. I know she was just joking around, about fighting for the belt at 50 years old. She ain't gonna feel like fighting at 50 years old, I really doubt she'll be there. But like Yeah, I give her about 3 more years because as long as she's beating girls like she's beating them now, she's pretty comfortable where she is. She's still getting paid. She's still got enough in the tank. It ain't like she's on a 6-fight losing streak. Hell, she's making more mental progression than Andrea Lee. She making more mental progression than Andrea Lee is. Andrea Lee like on a 5-fight losing streak. And Andrea Lee supposedly got more tools than Angela Hill. But Angela Hill still got enough in her to say, hey, I can do this, I can do that. I can change this, I can change that. So I just think that her kryptonite is them girls that are just better, stronger at grappling, like Verna, Dern. Some of these younger girls that are just still questionable, I still think that she always has a chance to beat them. If that one girl moved back down, I think that girl would probably beat Angela Hill at this point, though. The bigger and the stronger they are. What's her name? Eduardo Mohr. Somebody like that would be too big if she could make weight. You know what I mean? Like if she come down and make weight, but I doubt that Angela Hill could beat somebody like that. That's a newcomer I don't see her beating. But yeah, I think that those girls that just haven't really come with that dominance, Ketlin Souza, Denise Gomes, Loopy, those type of girls, they're still gonna come up short. Who do you think she should fight? Who I think she should fight next? Well, Jillian is fighting Marina. I think she should fight the loser of that fight. I think Angela Hill should get the loser of Marina versus Jillian Robertson. I always wanted to see Marina and Angela Hill fight. I always wanted to see Marina Rodriguez and Angela Hill fight. That'd be a good fight. If she loses. No, man. Actually, Amanda Ebos. That's a good fight. Angela Hill versus Amanda Ebos, because she did call for that fight. She called for that fight at the press fight conference. She was like, "Hey, Angela Hill, who you want?" She's like, "Hey, Amanda Ebos is a name I will fight." She said, "Yan Xiaonan." She said, "Amanda Ebos," because they were supposed to fight like 4 years ago, but I think Ebos got COVID. So she was like, "Hey, that's a fight we could make now." And for sure, man, like Ebos and Hill, Dern's son, both of them. So that's a good. Well, Hill got beat down by Dern, but Ebos, she got finished. So since Dern owns both of them, that would be a good fight to make. I mean, Hill's Hill's holding her ground. If she want to try to step up her game, go ahead and let Ebos fight. Yeah, give her the Ebos fight. That's a good fight. Six said, "What do you think about Val being the underdog?" I don't really think she needs to be the underdog, honestly. Like, I don't see her being the underdog. Like, I think that's kind of like the Whaley fight, same situation, man. I don't know. Like, I think it's a casual thing. I think they're basing it too much off of what happened. I mean, like, me being logical and just knowing what Valentina is capable of and her being the champion, I just got to be real and say Whaley and Valentina would need to be the favorites. I think they just would need to be the favorites in that situation because they are proven champions to me. Manon is on a great streak now, and yeah, I think she could win this fight, but I just kind of find it weird. Like, the odds are, have Val is the underdog here. That is kind of strange. Especially if you're really studying styles and you think if this person has the style to go in here and nullify this person, Axel said why the UFC didn't give Cornolle a top 15. Will the UFC renew her contract? They probably didn't give her a top 15 because she's coming off a loss. Probably because she's coming off that loss. That's why. So they gave her Haley Cowan. They probably said that's a good fight to, kind of get her back in the mix. Yeah, Marina, man, I really wanted to see her get there, man. She might be on her way out, man. I don't know. If Marina loses this fight, she might be on the downside. I mean, she is on the downside now. I mean, she only won one out of her last 5 fights. Man, yo, if I get my hands on one fighter and I'm a fan of is Marina Rodriguez, because I'd be like, yo, we got to get you out of your comfort zone, man. Like, girl, we got to get you out of your comfort zone. Like, we got to get you in here wrestling. Let's call up Joanna and let's work on your takedown defense. Let's put you in here with nothing but grapplers and wrestlers trying to take you down all day. Like, I know you love striking now, but dang, girl, you got to be in here. You got to be in here scrambling and sprawling. I wonder why, man. I wonder why they haven't really perfected that. Like, you haven't seen any real change in her takedown defense. I wonder why that is, man. Like, I wonder why some fighters just say, I don't want to do that. But hey, look, that's where you look at the difference between, a real like champion and a fighter. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, you ain't got the light. Look, people ain't got the light. Like, that's what I'm saying. Look, we ain't got the light. Zhang Weili is like the greatest fighter. Like, I ain't got to put her up there and say she's the greatest fighter of all time right now. But the path that Zhang Weili is on shows you like levels, man. It shows you levels, right? Because look, it's like Zhang Weili said, I'm not good at this. All right, I'm humbling myself, and this is what we working on. This is what we working on. I'm not that good off my back. I'm not one of the best wrestlers in the world. I can't wrestle like this person. I'm strong, but I just can't. What did she do? Became a wrestler. Conquered it. Still conquering it. Still improving every day. But that's the thing. Like, she conquered her fear. And that's all I want to see. Like, for Marina, man, like, I wanted to see Marina at some point just like look more confident on the ground and start scrambling and stop accepting bottom position. Like, that's one of the things I've been waiting for in every fight. Like, whether it was Virna or what is her name? Lamos. Lamos take her down too. I know Lamos, that fight ended on the feet. Well, she did beat Dern. Yeah, she did beat Dern. But that second round was still crazy. Carla, little old Carla took her down. And, Carla just had her in some positions where I was like, come on now, let's get up. But the thing is, it's like every fight comes back to that. And it's just like, you hope for the best with your striking, but sometimes, man, you just got to get out your comfort zone. That's why I said again, salute to Weili, just as a student of the game, and like I said, that'll go to any fighter to me. That goes to any fighter to me that just takes it to that next level and says, even Jillian Robertson. That's what I'm saying. Jillian Robertson finally is getting it with her striking. Because Jillian was the opposite. Jillian liked to be on the ground all day. But her hands, man, her hands were just not there. Finally, they getting somewhere. She finally touching some people. She finally touching, man. She finally landing some shots. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. But, where Marina stands now, I just don't think, man, like you ever gonna see that type of progression there. Nah. Hate to say that, but yeah, Marina's been having issues with takedown defense since Randa. Yep. Did Lucinda take her down? I want to say she did. Because I think that was a round she lost. Yep. I want to say I have time. I want to say she got taken down in the first round, which made it close. She was winning the round, but she got taken down, right? Andrade took her down. She was winning the round against Andrade on the feet, but guess what? Andrade takes her down to even the odds. And that's what happens. Every time she get taken down, I'm like, that's it. You losing the round. That's why I just kind of wonder, like, what her corner works on with her, you know? Like, what do they work on? Like, what's their plan of attack when they fight grapplers? Like, Jillian Robertson, come on, hands down all day. Jillian Robertson, hands down all day, is going to want to take this fight to the ground, and she's going to try to submit her. Like, what's y'all's plan of attack? I got to know. I got to see some sprawling in this fight. If I don't see it, I think G-Rob might get it. Close. I still can't believe Jillian lost to Ricci. I just don't understand. I don't understand that either. Like, I don't know. Was that just like fate that took that win from her? Because I expected Jillian to be on a nice win streak, beating a lot of these girls. And I think I was one of the ones that said too, like, Ricci just ain't offering Jillian anything. And she loses. I'm like, yo, like, neither one of them really took each other down. Did they respect their ground games that much in that fight? Like, Jillian did not drag this girl down. I was like, why is she not dragging her down? Like, you're big. You're big and strong. Like, why are you not taking Ricci down right now? That was a strange fight. I won't say it killed her momentum, but yeah, it broke the win streak. You know, she'd be on what, a 5-fight win streak right now. So yeah, man, I was just like, that was crazy. Gabby said her striking was her letdown. She busted up Ricci in that fight. She had Ricci's nose bleeding in that fight. So I was like, she's landing something. Donovan said G-Rob tends to struggle with grapplers around or above her level. I didn't think Ricci was like that much around her level or above her level, but yeah, that is true though, because I have, Miranda, Tyler, who else? JJ Aldridge, as soon as she started, jumping in, improving with her wrestling, yeah. Yeah. But she'll handle some of these strikers with no takedown defense. Yeah, for sure. I expected her to take Ricci to school a little bit, even on the ground, or at least try to cancel out what Ricci could do. I know Ricci is a black belt. Maybe they really thought about it and said, maybe we won't take that chance, but that was just kind of different. All right, y'all. But yeah, I think though, again, man, going back, I think we're gonna get some good action. I know some people think, yeah, Shevchenko Fiorot is not gonna be a good fight. As far as like fireworks, but who does? Like, I hear some people saying that, like, even some people commenting, like, I know Gary said that this fight's Valentina's boring and this and that, but who's coming in? All right, who's going into Shevchenko Fiorot thinking we gonna get Justin Gaethje versus Holloway? I know none of y'all gonna think we gonna get some type of fight like that, right? Ain't nobody in here coming here thinking I'm already thinking chess match, and I'm happy, and I'm hyped for that, like, because there's always that checkmate that Valentina can deliver, and or you never know, it could be the other way around. So that's what makes a counter striker versus counter striker very interesting sometimes. But it's gonna be a tense fight. Like I said, I would put it the main event over Bilal's fight. I'm just saying, like, y'all keep saying the Bilal fight's boring. This fight right here is going to probably be very tactical, but at the same time tense and exciting. Yeah, I like a chess match too, Axel. I'm good, man. I like a chess match here because they both thrive themselves on, being the better striker on fight night, and we're gonna see how it turns out. And there's gonna be some rounds where I believe there are gonna be some rounds where we say, oh, we might get a little hype. Then we go back to sitting. Then there'll be another snap moment. You know what I mean? So I think it's gonna be a good fight. I think Grasso Silva is gonna be more combinations flowing. I think there'll be more combinations flowing in Grasso and Silva style of fight. But when you get to this high level of a striker, I think Shevchenko Fiorot is going to be, it's going to be that type of, yeah, it's going to be that type of catch and serve, whatever you call it, tennis match, right? What do you call it, catch and serve? It's going to be that type of fight. And then you're going to be like, oh, when something happened, then you go right back to sitting and you're going to be like, all right, here we go. Then boom, something happens, But it always takes somebody in there to kind of bring that fight out of them. Grasso and Shevchenko, I think that style had more spark to it because, Grasso was taking crazy chances. She was in there hitting Valentina in ways we never seen her hit before, and Valentina was game for it. So it brought something out of them, So it always comes down to how the person's going to be matched up. But when you got two people like Valentina and Manon, like I was saying, both look for technical errors in their opponent and at the same time look to not make errors, not to think of, overstepping their boundaries, you're going to get a cautious fight. Six said Val needs to just pressure Manon, and Manon just needs to time Valentina's twitch. There's gonna be some timing in this fight from both sides. Johnny, what's up? Johnny said Valentina's gonna be 37. Mother time is undefeated. Yeah, that's true. That is true too. As you get up there in age, you try to do everything you can, and I think some fighters do as they get older. They kind of make adjustments to their style, but you just never know how everything will come together on fight night, right? I remember old Bernard Hopkins, man, in boxing, man, he was fighting Joe Smith Jr. He looked, I never seen him look that bad. Then he gets knocked out of the ring. That was so weird. And what's his name? Tony Ferguson, man. Father Time ain't been on his side in years. He just keep coming back, thinking he gonna do something. Yeah, the fight tomorrow. What y'all mentioned that earlier? Better be and Bivol. It's gonna be early around my way. I think I'm gonna stick with Bivol this time around. I picked Better Biev last time. I know he won, but honestly, I don't really think he won convincingly. I could have gave it to Bivol. I'm gonna go back and watch that fight right now. Actually, I'm gonna watch that. Right now after I get off of here because I want to see where they gave that fight to Better Biev again. I think he won a majority decision. Shakur is fighting a late replacement. Shakur is taking on shout out to that guy, man. He's an electrician and he coming out to fight. That's what's up. People kind of knocking the guy that's fighting Shakur, but hey, he a worker like all of us, and he saw the big check there. He said, hey, I'm taking it. I know Shakur was all up in his face saying, I'm gonna beat. Hey, man, like you need to be giving that guy credit that he's giving you a chance to be on this card right now. You know what I mean? Get that guy some credit because hey, he's stepping in when what's that guy's name? Floyd Schofield. I guess supposedly he's sick. So I don't know. I need to catch up on my boxing. I mean, I'm watching it, but yeah, I need to get back into boxing a little bit more. Like I every time I see it, it's like, okay, yeah, I know what's going on. But this is probably one of the better boxing cards that I've seen, almost like UFC caliber as far as matchups. 6 said the last minute replacement for Khabib. Yeah. Yeah, you got to get a guy credit, man. Even like, what was his name? Ige. Ige was up in the store, right? I think Ige said he was up in the store somewhere when he got the call in Vegas to fight Diego Lopez, and homeboy came up in there, shorts and gloves, just like that, and gave Diego Lopez a good fight. Ige gave that Lopez a good fight too. So hey, so you never know. I'm hoping this guy gives Shakur a good fight. Oh yeah, Daniel Dubois is out of the fight too, man. But you got a solid step in. I think somebody called this dude the Black Zangief. What's his name? Volkov or something. What's his name? He knocked out Big Baby Jared Anderson. Joseph Parker. Let me see. Joseph Parker. Yeah, this boxing card might be better than the UFC card tomorrow night. Yeah, Martin Bacoli. Yeah, I think the card starts at 11 o'clock my way. Yeah, it starts at like 11 o'clock. But yeah, Zhang, I like him too. Oh, yeah. Paul said watch ONE FC Atomweight fight from yesterday. Mira got a knee bar. You don't see that every day. All right. Yeah, I got to check that card out. I know I missed something. Yeah, Paul, I'm going to go back and check that card out too tonight. I'm going to sit back and watch some fights when I get off of here. Let's see. Bro Cove. Okay, Volk versus Diego Lopez is going to be crazy. Man, that's going to be a crazy fight. I got Volkanovski. I don't know about you, Closer. I'm going with Volk. I never pick against my man Volk. Not even against what is his name? Why am I forgetting his name? Islam. Axel said the chess match has already started. Manon did a good thing to not showing all her potential, her ground game in her previous fights. There are no blueprints and uncertainties for Val. Yeah. I think the fight's gonna be something where we see a little something different here and there. You won't see the same thing. And I know I hear some people say, "Oh, Manon ain't got the stamina to go 5 or 3 with Valentina." I'm like, girl, stay on the track though, man. She stay doing road work. She runs a lot. Because I don't think Valentina runs, but she got good stamina too. Valentina got some good stamina. She makes up for it, but she don't really do like road work like that. Like Manon be hitting the trail. And as a fellow runner, I'm like, yo, I rock with the people who taking it back to old school road work, She be cycling, doing miles. Like, I like to run, man. Depends on Volk's chin. Yeah, I think so too. Like, I really think it depends on the chin and just his body too. Like, I'm kind of wondering if he comes in like really hard, as far as shape, like ripped and solid at this weight. But we'll see. We shall see. I think Volk's got enough in his tool belt to win, though. I'm not going to be highly upset if Diego Lopez was to win, but I'll be a little disappointed. It's just hard for these guys to become 2-time champions sometimes. I don't know why, man. Like, Izzy still disappointed me in his against Dricus, man. It was right there. Izzy disappointed me, man. It was right there. Man. That's what I'm worried about in this Volkanovski fight. Like, the win might be right there, but somehow Lopez might skate by with it. Johnny said Manon has great takedown defense and distance management. Yeah, I agree. Great takedown defense. Probably the best takedown defense right now in the flyweight division, right? Yeah. What's her takedown defense percentage versus Grasso got that belt though for somebody that doesn't have great takedown defense. So hold on. Grasso got to stop getting taken down though. She got to work on that. I think Manon's takedown defense. Oh yeah, 93%. 93%. Her accuracy with takedowns is 42%. You know, being a striker is not that high, but when she has taken people down, she's taking them down. Striking accuracy 41%. Her striking defense is up at a 68%. 93%. Valentina's takedown defense is at 71. You know, that's over the course of, you know, a long period with some, you know, great names on her belt. And takedown accuracy is 64. I remember, in that one fight against Jessica Andrade, it was like 100%. Yeah, I'm still a fan of Izzy. I'm still a fan. You know, the skills. Let's see here. Yeah, Manon is at a 93. That's pretty. That's pretty good. Freaking good. What is Alexa Grasso's takedown defense accuracy? Or her takedown defense? Dang, 54%. Takedown defense for Grasso is 54. Yeah, it's still over 50%. Her accuracy as far as takedowns is 40%. Dang, BJ, I just remember. I know BJ ain't up here right now, but I'm still the champion of his WMMA trilogy. Not trilogy, his trivia game. I finally won that belt from him. We ain't never played that trivia game anymore though. When was the last time we played that trivia game? Like a year ago? I'm still the reigning champion. I won it. Let's see. Okay, let's see. What other fights do y'all want to see? Any other fights y'all really want to see, like flyweight wise? I'll do a video on that. We're gonna match up the whole fly. I think we did that the other day, Paul, right? We matched up everybody in the flyweight division. Rose, put her in there with Viviane Araújo. Yeah, Aaron and Macy is a must. Aaron is a Macy is a must. If we get Aaron and Macy on this card or any card, if Aaron and Macy's like a main event on a fight night card, I don't know how to. I ain't gonna know how to act, man. I ain't gonna know how to act, man. I'm be talking all kinds of trash up here, man. Just in general, you know, talking trash to the people that hate WMMA, knowing that we got some good fights up in here. Rose needs to fight Araújo. I think if Rose and Araújo fought, that would be good. No. We said Rose and Andrade. That's right. Rose and Andrade. Run it back and end that trilogy. I say do this, and yeah, we'll do this, Jasmine, because this Viviane Araújo and Jasmine fight was scheduled, but it got canceled for whatever reason. Yeah, the Montreal card is basically the tournament here. You know, they did that. Yeah, Jasmine Rhodes is a good fight though. If they do that, man, I would probably put a little money on Jasmine to win that fight. Again, nothing against Rose, because Rose is getting strong. And you know, I did pick Rose to win in the last couple of fights, except the Aaron fight. I picked against her. I said it's Aaron. And I think Jasmine might be a bigger, dirtier, rougher version of Aaron. So I could see Jasmine laying on Rose, and you won't even see Rose anymore. Like, that's how big and strong she is. Like, I don't know though. You know, Rose might be strong enough to handle it now. I don't know, but I just keep thinking Jasmine's going to like blanket her, and you won't even see her up under her. Because that's a big wrestler too, you know. Like, now, if she keeps it on the feet, Rose gonna put some tattooing together. She's got the footwork and the skills there, and hands down, better footwork and better striking, no doubt. But the pressure, man, the pressure. Jasmine Rose, yeah. Casey Maverick, yes. Once Casey gets past his injury, yeah, I love to see those fights. Mark say here go one that will put us all to sleep. Carla comes out of retirement and fights Rose. Ooh, for a third time. Ooh, they ain't never gonna make that matchup again. They are never gonna match them two up. I don't even care. Look, Carla could be number one contender and Rose could have that strawweight belt again, but they will not make that fight, or vice versa. Dana's gonna be like, hey, we're gonna have to do like boxing and make two belts. If you want a belt, you have to be an interim belt champion, something like that, but we ain't gonna make that fight again. Eileen Perez versus Tracy Cortez. That's for bragging rights, right? For trash talking rights. Norma and Macy, yeah, I like that fight. Norma and Macy, put them on the same card as Juliana Pena and Kayla Harrison. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. They did the tournament thing with bantamweight, right? Wasn't Kayla versus Ketlin on the same card as Pena? And was Kayla and Ketlin on the same card as Pena and Pennington? I can't remember off top. I'm not looking right now, but Macy already whooped Norma. She beat her. She won, but I wouldn't say she beat her because Macy got rocked in that last round. Cavalcanti and Aldana. Yeah, I want that fight. I did want to see Cavalcanti versus Misha Tate or Yana Santos because I want to see her in there with somebody that can grapple. Or Carol Rosa. Cavalcanti versus Carol Rosa. Okay, yeah, Johnny said, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so they kind of been on it when it comes to like the tournament thing. They kind of been on that, as far as putting the number one contenders on the cards as of lately. And we got legit contenders now. Verna versus Jan. That's legit for strawweight. For flyweight, you got Manon fighting now, but then you got Grasso versus Silva. And then, for bantamweight, you got Kayla lined up to fight Pena. And then if Macy was to recover, she could fight Norma in a rematch. Or you got Norma versus Eileen Perez. The bantamweight fight I want to see the most is probably Norma versus Kayla, though. Definitely want to see Norma versus Kayla at some point. Now, before I go, I want to say this. Look, this tournament for flyweight is really good, but how many of y'all would be upset if we wind up? Because it's possible now. It's very possible. I don't want to talk it up or jinx it, but this tournament could end up being a fourth fight between Shevchenko and Grasso. Y'all know that, right? It's very possible we could get that. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm hoping we don't get that right now, man. I want to see something new. Part of me wants to see something new. A big part of me wants to see something new now. Because we could wind up getting that fourth fight here. Who would I pick between Tatiana and McKenzie? Ooh, right now, I think that fight is a lot closer than I would have said maybe, a couple years ago. I think McKenzie definitely has a chance against Tatiana when it comes down to her stand-up now. Like, McKenzie looks a little bit more steady compared to Tatiana on her feet. Johnny said when Valentina loses, she can face Alexa on a fight night. On a fight night card. I mean, Manon versus Natalia Silva does have a nice ring to it. Say if they both come out the winners. And I'm sure a lot of people are kind of looking at that. Like, I mean, to me, may the best fighter win, but I really respect how Natalia and Manon have just been fighting their way up right now. They've been grinding hard, and if they can get it now, I'm like, yo, a lot of respect to them. Yeah, but that's going to be an interesting fight now that I think should happen, man. Tatiana versus Mackenzie Dern. I just think that Tatiana needs to take a little bit of time out. Yeah, Macy's been grinding. Macy has been grinding too. She can be grinding too. She is grinding. Now if she go in there and fight, if she's lined up to fight Aaron, hey, I'm all for it, man. She could be next in line, or Aaron could be. Yeah, actually, he ain't blocked or nothing. He ain't blocked. I don't know. Tatiana's a warrior. Yeah, Tatiana's a warrior. 6'7" Verna versus Tatiana. Same deal there, man. I think Verna has a good chance to win. I think she's more. Now that I've seen how Tatiana looked on her feet, now that I have something to measure it off of against a high level fighter and current fighter, not just Montana or Andrade, now that I have something to base that off of, I will say that Verna has a chance to beat Tatiana now. Not saying she does fully, but if Verna is on her striking game and she can move, she's got a good chance. She's got a good chance. Because there's that level in there where she's improved. She's light on her feet and she's got a very good right hand. So she's got a good chance. So I think Verna might even be more competitive against Weili than Tatiana was. Inactivity it can be a mother, yo. Inactivity can really take away, especially if you're not moving around. Like, see, Manon maybe been out for over a year, but she's still moving. She's been able to move. There was no injuries in there. Whereas Tatiana, there was injury after injury after injury. And Dern is strong. Dern has gotten stronger. I mean, not just by muscle, looking at the muscles, but her actual physical strength does look like it could be a problem. Like, she's not going to be weak. She won't get ragdolled or nothing at this point. Dern is, that she's got definition to in her body too. It's just not like muscles for show. Like, Dern is pretty strong. Yeah, Zhang Weili was too powerful and quick when it came down to it. Yeah, Yan is still a threat. If Yan's takedown defense can maybe get up there, maybe like another 20-30%, I think she could give some problems. Tatiana's got a chin and she won't give up on herself, but we haven't seen Verna in rounds 4 and 5 of Weili. He said, when have we seen Verna or Dern against someone like Weili? Never. We haven't, but we've seen them evolve. We have seen them evolve as far as their stand-up games. We've seen them come back and look better after a loss, in each fight. Like, Verna's looked better and better after each fight, in my opinion. Even after coming back after a knee injury, she's looked better in every fight, which puts her on a good playing field more than we think. Marcus said, let's see if Dern can win a fight based on a fighter who's above her ranking. Yeah. Rick said, with Valentina and Fiorot booked and Silva fighting Grasso, I hope Weili stays at strawweight. I hope so too, man. Yeah, not too many people say that, man. Rick said with them fighting, he said, I hope she stays at strawweight. I hope she just, even if Valentina was to win, I hope she kind of stay at strawweight. But I know she won't, because she gonna call for that fight. I know if Manon wins, I don't think Weili's gonna move up to fight Manon at all. That was something BJ was talking about on his stream, and like I said, I don't think she want to fight her. I think she just really want the bullet name on her resume. She want that scalp on her resume bad. So, she wants to test herself with that. So if Valentina was to win, she gonna come back and do it. The talk's gonna come back, and she's gonna want to come back up to 125 or talk about. The talks are gonna come back to going back up here. How would they react if they can't implement their grappling against Weili, similar to Tatiana? I think Verna will adjust and start trying to strike with her. Like if she can't take her down, I think Verna will be confident in trying her striking. Like Verna's got better movement than Tatiana Suarez. So I think if she can't get her, see, that's the thing. Like if you look at some of Verna's last few fights, she didn't go right in for takedowns. Like she did use a little bit of stand up right away. Even whenever she fought Lupi, Lupi supposed to be a better boxer. And, she was already Verna was already picking her apart. So to me, I think that Verna is going to, have somewhat of a level of striking and confidence to stand with Weili if she has to. If she has to. Not saying she'll win it now because, Weili is quicker. But I think that Verna does have a level of striking that she will be confident in, like if she can't get her to the ground. Like she's not just going to stand there, and she's not going to just go in for naked takedowns either. Verna versus Dern. If Weili fights Valentina, Weili will have to vacate the belt. If Weili fights Valentina, Weili will have to vacate the belt. Oh, yeah, of course. Yep. AW, what's up? He said Tatiana has decent stand-up in terms of form and balance. She's just really, really slow, but she isn't off balance or anything. Yeah, she's got okay form, but it hasn't really been tested or pushed to an ability where she's really had to step out of the box. Again, when you're hitting mitts and you sparring, it's a little bit lighter, but you really won't know a person's balance until they fight different styles. Like form and balance, Rose, she got that all day, Rose Namajunas. You see her move and how she flows. Verna and Dern, yeah, they could throw more strikes. I definitely think they could throw more strikes than Tatiana could. Because, been active. Active is a big part of the game, man. Yeah, I think the days of that champ stuff is done, robot. Like Topher, he just vacated and moved on up. Like I think Dana. I think if Weili moves up, he's gonna let her. If Weili moved up to fight at 125, he's gonna let her hold the belt when she moves up, just to be able to say she is a champ. But then she's gonna have to vacate right after. That's kind of what I see. So just so she can get that picture with both, both pieces of hardware. Get both pieces of hardware on there and just say, look, I'm strawweight champion, flyweight champion. But after that, nah, like you might have to vacate that thing. That's why the UFC wants her to stay at flyweight. All right, but on that note, y'all, good talk. Gonna jump off of here now. No fights this weekend, like I said, so pretty much, just whatever. If I feel like coming back on this weekend, I will, but might be a little busy tomorrow. So yeah, hit that like button, y'all. If you enjoyed the talk. And of course, we'll be talking about whatever comes up, upcoming news. And from here to May, if y'all have questions about these fights or whatever happens, I'll keep you posted and just jump on. And subscribe if you haven't. Yeah, Johnny said, I'm tired of double champ talk. I am too. it was fun for a couple of times 6 years ago, but now it's like, all right, we're done. Yeah, I think what UFC Seattle had 6 cancellations. Shout out to Steve Garcia too, man. I wanted to see him really be tested against Edson Barbosa. That was going to be his big test. That would have been a good fight too, man. So I hate that his fight got canceled. In this Macy fight, man, it was supposed to happen last year, but man. But yeah, we'll see y'all. Catch y'all on the next one, which could be BJ. Well, BJ, his excuse was he was showering, so I still gotta. He addressed this up in the comment section. He was trying to avoid that smoke. So him and Easy E, Easy E still got to get that crow from a couple weeks ago. He said he wanted that crow, but hey, it's still there if you need it. Which I know you hungry, so whenever. Yeah, man. Triple champion. If we ever get that talk, man, I'm triple done. But I'm out, y'all, later.